Oh, you told me to
I
bring a
know.
hat,
I know.
and I'm looking around for your hat.
I forgot it. I was gonna wear my.
No, this is the Rogan Ray show, and I feel like I'm always the one that's prepared here.
Guys, Merry Christmas. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Bumblebee.
And it's. I know we've been away for a little bit. I told you the whole situation and everything like that. It's Christmas time. It's a little weird.
I went to
Everything like
jail.
that. Manny almost went to jail because he went back home to Mexico, and we'll get more into that. But guys, welcome to the Will Ray Show. It's a little show today, Christmas special with your host Will Ray. Got my co-host Manny. Malik is actually out in Dominican Republic trying to get
Sure.
um, some strippers to come back with him. I told him,
Trying to get us at sponsors.
yeah, it's Malik is always working and stuff like that. So big shout out to Malik. Malik will be back with us soon, as well as Ryan, and especially Lala. So on
Private college there.
or Luchador, whichever one. Um, we got a lot to get into today. We got Superman trailer just dropped. We got some issues with some bitches and stuff that we're gonna talk about. We got Raw coming to Netflix just in a few weeks. We're gonna get into that, but first things first, Manny, how was your trip to Mexico?
For those who care, and for those who don't know, uh, I went to a wedding for my cousin. A fun time. It was a wonderful place. Like obviously, like what people spend here compared to what you would spend over there. It's like you would have like a Disney wedding over there with the money you use here. Just because like what they spend would have been here would have been like small. But over there they had the whole church, obviously.
I saw the whole mariachi band and everything like that.
But that wasn't even part of like the package. That was the mariachi band for the church, not including the one for like the party, and then the other band for the main part of the party. But then, like the place we went to, they had horses just there. They had parrots just flying around that in an enclosed area, take pictures. It
What
was
part of Mexico was this?
that was Guadalajara, which to be fair, not throwing any shade out there. Walking downtown Guadalajara, it's like walking downtown Philly.
Yeah.
It's like you walk around and like, wow, that is one beautiful building. Oh, that's probably a crackhead. Oh shit, that's a nice looking building. Two crackheads.
Yes, it's sad but true.
It
I've never
is.
been to I've never even traveled to Mexico. I haven't traveled. I think the only Spanish place I've been to is probably
One of my
Mexico.
big bags.
It's
The best place to go to eat. Oh my god.
really.
4 Big Macs, 4 large fries, and 4 sodas were $26. $26. And when I go to tacos,
Weird, yeah.
oh,
I thought Donald Trump was going. Well, he's not in office. Yeah,
not
we're
yet.
not going to get into that. We're not going to
Well,
get into
if you have a chance, and to be fair, a lot of people are scared of Mexico, but I would say Mexico City had a lot of tourists. And like a lot of places, a lot of restaurants, even like the non like big ones, speak slight English to where they make you feel welcome, and they usually won't even overcharge you for being like a tourist.
You know what's so crazy about that, right? Because I've also heard that it's not even a rumor, but that little thing, Mexico is so dangerous and stuff like that. It's only dangerous if you go, and it's the same place anywhere in the world. If you go someplace that you're not supposed to go to.
It's only dangerous if you're looking for dangerous.
Thank you. I mean, that's
That's
pretty
really
much it.
it.
If you going, it's the same thing like if you go to New York, you go to Jersey, Philly, anywhere. If you go into a certain area looking for something, you're 9 times out of 10 you're gonna find it. But
But
some of the pictures that you posted on Snapchat, the house was like ridiculous.
yeah, right. You got a house.
Like, where the hell did y'all book that?
You just Airbnb. What's crazy about that, which I believe that guy was part of the cartels, he looked at us and said, "Yo, you know what this house? I have like 8 more." And I was like, "Oh shit!" And I was looking at my which at the time it was my cousin's fiance. My cousin's a female, so the fiance's a husband, obviously.
Okay, you had to clarify that.
Yeah, just to make sure. Um, I was looking at him. We're all like, looking at him like, "Yo, like, should we upgrade?" And they're like, "Nah, nah, that's just too much work." Because we also had a mariachi band at that house, which we got like police called on us.
Why?
No one's complaining, even though it was 8 o'clock.
You know, and I'm saying this because Mexican police is different from American police, obviously. So
Well, to be fair, when we were talking to the police, she was like, I really can't shut you guys
the
down.
female police officer,
Yeah,
I'll say I got lucky.
yeah, to be fair, I think we did. And then I looked at her, I was like, what happens if we just take the band inside? And she was like, nothing we can do about it.
Yeah, pretty
So we
much.
took the band inside. But besides that, like the food, the nice historical places, I went to go see like the castle most presidents go to like do their big meetings.
Yeah.
That's open to the public now. That's really nice. I got to see where they live, like their version of the White House, where all the presidents lived, their cabins. Which I got just because of like the recent like downfall of some of those presidents because of like corruption that's been coming out.
Yeah.
Um, really nice place, and then seeing family that I haven't gotten to see in a long time. Good time,
Well, you know what's so awesome about that is like
especially if you like toys. Dragon Ball Z, bro. Dragon Ball Z is big there.
it's big everywhere.
No, but I feel like it is big there.
I have a friend that looks at anime. It's
No, but see, like I agree, anime is huge, but what I mean is Dragon Ball is huge. Like I went to a taco stand, and one of like on their painted murals was Goku and a luchador. Not yet, not that I know. But like anywhere you walked, even the priest
Yeah.
during the wedding made a small Goku reference. He said, if everyone puts their hands up and just puts their energy towards these two lovely couples, and you can have it. And I knew that, man.
Like you're not even supposed to be watching.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm like, I knew.
Okay. Good.
But no, Mexico's a good place. If one of those places you want to travel, I would recommend it. Same in Mexico City. You get everything you'll really want to see from what Mexico City is. The food's amazing. Traffic's horrible. It's like I said, it's like walking downtown Philly or New York. Everything's close by. Traffic just takes you from 10 minutes to half an hour, where you could just walk the 15 minutes.
Good. I mean, I'm glad you had a good time. And talking on the subject of traffic, and getting into some local news real quick. Sports. Obviously, the Eagles are going phenomenal. Pittsburgh, well, Phillies also just starting. Sixers, and this is where it gets complicated. Basically, by the time this video is posted, um, don't know what the real verdict is going to be, but 9 times out of 10, the verdict is going to be upheld. They'll have a new stadium downtown. It's happening over it. If it wasn't going to be done, it was going to be another corporation. This is the third time they tried to get a stadium downtown.
Yeah.
It was going to be the Sixers. It was always going to be the Sixers or the Flyers because they want an indoor stadium. So, they just did a demonstration the other day, try to show the traffic and everything like that. But my biggest complaint is you're complaining because you're paying more in taxes, and 9 times out of 10 you're going to pay more. And I think that's pretty much the biggest issue, in my opinion. I know there are other circumstances involved with this stadium being built down there, which I don't want to get into because it's a lot. It's a big paperwork. It's like I want to say 200 pages of what's going to happen, but supposedly that Chinatown will be most affected of it, and that's pretty much where the rent raised and the tax is going to be raised. But you're getting $60 million. You wanted $100 million, which says you could be bought, but only at a price, at your price.
Yeah.
And they got to a price that they felt more comfortable, which is we're going to give you $60 million to basically hold you over until the stadium is fully up and running, which is basically going to bring profit to the city. It might not be the profit that everybody wants and agrees with, but it's going to be profit. It's going to bring revenue in. A lot of people are going to come downtown.
It's really hard just because if it wasn't this, it would have been something. It was going to be something. It was just going to be a question of what we were going to be okay with.
The Sixers didn't want to go there. They wanted a Penn's. Honestly, they desperately wanted Penn's Landing. It was perfect for them to be right there on the waterfront, right across the street from their practice facility where they could ferry people in. And the city said no. And they said, okay, well, fine, we'll go right there at Marketplace. And it's the perfect spot, honestly, because there's nothing there. You have the Fashion District, you have AMC Theater. And it's not even a good AMC Theater like
Yeah.
people places out LA and New York. It's just an AMC Theater. And you would have thought that would have attracted. It did. So what's the thing? Either a hotel, stadium, whether it's 6 or this is the caveat why they're doing it. They're getting ahead of it because they know Eagle Stadium that will probably be announced in a few years is going to be happening. And now, Sixers out.
I feel like people also forget that with the World Cup coming to Philly, the World Cup's very strict on their stadiums, and they will give you money to fix it, but you have no choice but to fix your stadium. So it's gonna have to happen. As much as people hate the idea of like you like your old style stadium still, but for the money that like the World Cup's gonna bring in and all of that stuff that could be bringing in, the stadium needs that
When
extra.
is the World Cup coming?
2026.
2026. By that time, the stadium, again, hopefully, bearing anything or anything like that, the stadium will already probably be under construction. They'll start demolition around 2026. The stadium won't be up and running until 2030 or 2031. But by 2026, you will start to hear the rumbling that, oh, well, now the Sixers are gone, the Flyers are going to be right there. Flyers will probably do something where they'll be like, all right, we're going to just demolition that whole place, and Eagle Stadium will be bigger, Flyers Stadium will be bigger as well, and it'll still be that whole spectrum. You got to get over it. I know it's a horrible thing. I know it's like, why? But if, as a business, you're looking at it, and you're like, all right, well, if I'm bringing in $5 doing this, and this place can be bringing $7, I mean, it's not much, but at least it's more than that.
As a business person, those $2 mean more. So yeah, I mean
And
it's gonna happen.
I get it. I fully get it. You don't want the tax. You don't want the headache. Six plus. You don't want the crime rate, but you got to understand that another with the stadium and with the revenue of concerts, skating, probably even weight.
Mhm.
You're going to get NCAA, whatnot, everything, bringing more, want people into Philly as well. A lot of people practice. It's a place that people like to see. Birth home of one of the first few cities. It's there, and they want to try to
I
capitalize.
mean, yeah, that's what most places do. It's a smart thing at the
It
end,
is.
especially when you need the money now.
Listen, like I said, if it wasn't going to be the Sixers, it was going to be something. It was either going to be a grand scale mall or amusement thing, something that you was
I
not
feel
going to
like they
be
would have
like.
lost money on the ball too anyway.
But look, the gallery's been there since forever. They changed it to the fashion district to nicen it up. Nobody cares because I can get 9 times out of 10, most people shop online anyway, or they'll go to KOP, Willow Grove, or they'll go to Jersey or somewhere else in New York or anything like that. I don't need to go to the gallery anymore. It's not a spot. Because my friend. Now with this, it's going to be down. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be there. It's
There'll
going
be
to
a
be
lot more
nice.
patrols around there too,
Yeah.
so it's not the safest you'll want it to be, but it's gonna be safer than what it
Then what it
is.
is. And then you look at it, and again, people are bitching about the tax. You're going to tax you on your grade, right? Instead of you probably, let's say, 2.2% tax rate, it's going to be a 3.4% tax rate, and you're bitching about a 1.
And as much as it sucks, we still keep the Sixers at least.
They were never going to lose. It was the fact that Jersey even offered it that made you go. Because at the end of the day, if I build a stadium on the Camden waterfront, I can still call it the Philadelphia because Giants and Jets play in Jersey, but they're still called New York. So they could do the same thing. I think a lot of people A lot of Philadelphia. Oh, that's basically local news. That's what's as well. But I have a beef with people in media because TikTok is supposedly going under. I think January 20th of 2025. Still up in the air. Might not. Might.
Is that stuff real?
Yeah.
I don't really think.
I don't. I look. They want. They want it under control of. They want the U.S. government to have control. Not the government, but they want it to be an American to have control of the website. What makes TikTok so great is because they have created so many.
Hmm.
Because that's a platform that most people know, and it's almost like Vine, but Vine was more less structured. You had your Vine guys where like it was more comedy and act on art, and this is more mainstream because you can have
Well,
like
yeah, because Vine was made for like Vine was really when Vine first came out, it was really about the skits, like
yeah,
trying to be funny. That's how it worked out.
yeah,
And then TikTok came around, which people tried to continue what Vine was, but then realized, oh, I can really just talk about my day,
yeah,
and someone's gonna listen, or hey, look at this one product that I bought, and then that's how it blew up.
yeah, and it wasn't privatized to the point of well you gotta plug this or it's shameless plug like Instagram and Facebook account.
And then TikTok never really like said what they were.
No,
It was kind of like join TikTok, go live. It
go
was
live.
never like Vine. On the other hand, when you would hear about Vine, it was really do your own skits with your own friends. Like more of a, it was more towards comedy. While TikTok is really just whatever you can find, you'll find it.
Vine was the baby, and TikTok was gonna go first. It is what it is. They're trying to get it and try to make it more or less sound like well China can get through. I don't see it unless you have government secrets in your account. It's so complicated on what the American
It's
government
probably
can
the
say.
emails people are more scared about.
But it's not. The consumers of it aren't concerned because at the end of the day they haven't used it, right? But in layman's terms, it's more or less I can't because it's from a foreign source. It's theirs. I can't charge it. But you're making people, well, the people that are using TikTok to get famous, a la us as well as many others, but we're not famous or anything like that,
No, yeah,
are using it to be famous and they're making money. Hot Tour Girl, Kai, all those
yeah.
guys.
Because you really want to say fuck to a girl right now though?
Listen, as much as she's become exactly what she said
No,
I didn't want to do because she did exactly what any other streamer would probably do. Is take money and then say, oh, I lost money. Here,
I mean
it's wrong. It's wrong.
she is eating too right now.
She is.
Or if she's alive,
She's alive.
because the whole she hasn't posted on.
And why? Why? Got your money. You're suing me until I make money. Until I finish taking your money, I ain't gotta show up. But like those people, you know what I mean? They've made money. A little bit. We're gonna talk about in a second after this about how sex workers have basically capitalized off of TikTok by having a following because TikTok is like what the vlog squad. You could vlog your whole day in a 5 minute, 12 minute clip or anything like that, and people either are going to be interested or not, or they're just speechless. You know what I mean? And taking that away is going to be if they take it, because I've talked about this on other show. If they take it away, another platform is going to be. What's stopping the next person saying, "I will do what TikTok did," but now it's called down or something like that. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, I get it. I mean, there's always gonna be a different thing. It's just gonna come. I guess it's gonna really come down to like who creates the next big thing and
What?
how
Because
long will that take.
there's dozens of social media, right? But your big three are Facebook, Twitter. You want to add your fourth, which is Snapchat. Your fifth is TikTok, which outperforms all of them.
Yeah.
And then you have the Blue Sky, you got Trump stuff, you got other things. Um, Threads is kind of becoming a little bit thing. They start doing video. That could be the next thing, but
You have a thread?
2025 is going to be alright. Huh?
You have a thread?
No, I haven't.
I don't have one.
I've been tiptoeing around it because like I'll see something and oh, it's done.
But
I'll
like, I
wait.
don't know. I guess my issue is I just don't use Instagram enough anymore
It's
to where like I really notice threads.
no, it's not.
So I really don't know.
Instagram. I'm pretty much X or TikTok. Like I have Snapchat, I have Instagram, I have Facebook. But those are just to keep up with friends and family members that are there.
Hmm.
Other than that, I don't really use it. Unless I
Yeah.
want to post something about the
I'm
show.
I'm one of those like I'll post like a good selection of like collection
Yeah,
like
like my wife does
eventually.
that.
Like eventually I'll post like pictures from Mexico, but that'll be like the first thing I'll post, and then I won't post another thing until like maybe
Yeah.
April, maybe later, maybe not till next
You
December.
know who could capitalize with TikTok or Snapchat? Snapchat could capitalize because it has the formula to do it. If they were to do the videos instead of like clicking on a specific person, like the problem,
Hmm.
just have a scroll
Yeah,
of like, hey,
I feel like they're slowly working to it.
it,
It's getting there. I think the only issue is that they can't bypass all the other stuff TikTok has in terms of like the whole like you could randomly watch a full movie on
you
TikTok
could because the
without
live
realizing.
and stuff like that
Yeah,
without any, well, you can have consequences, but certain
I mean
limitations.
the consequences ain't that heavy for them just because usually it's just a oh, all right, your account's been banned or hey, you can't use your account for a
Well,
couple days. But then
what certain users do is that they
they'll cut it or they'll put the background
and then they'll put
noise.
it
Yeah,
either, or they'll flip like they'll reverse it.
yeah,
It's like,
usually
oh, it's that,
reverse.
but it's not original. And it's like, oh wow, well, I can watch this and this and this and this. So
That's what Snapchat can't get
yeah,
past.
that's the one. And TikTok has actually been slowly coming down on reactions to like WWE have been really strict on reactions because now people are not watching; they're watching the streamers that are reacting
Yeah.
to it, not learning results from that. Which will be
That's also why I think a lot of that's why WWE has slowly started like working with a lot of these TikTokers and
yeah,
whatnot. Like the one guy, I don't know his name, but he's the one that's been like interviewing all the wrestlers lately.
oh, I know who you're talking about. I
Like
can't think of
before
it.
then,
Yeah,
he had nothing to do with WWE, and
no,
then out of nowhere, he had this partnership because when CM Punk came out, he was in the media room with like the other reporters, and everyone was asking like, ah, like you didn't have anything to do with you know WWE like that. And now like he's doing like AEW
he does all
people.
wrestling.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
He
Like
does Ring of
now,
Honor. Okay.
and but like no, he doesn't get any flag.
When I figure it out, I'll put his picture right
Yeah,
there.
cool guy
But yeah,
from
he's a
what you watch.
great
Yeah,
interview. So
or in my opinion, like the one I think that's getting away with it the most, and I don't know how. I think it's because he's in like cover band. Is what's his name? Big Daddy Mark.
Big Daddy Mark is one of the pillars of WWE.
Like right now, especially like after he's singing like Triple H's like theme.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's getting away with that because I'm like he's got to be making some kind of money,
He
right?
is. Of course they are.
Yeah,
Listen,
but like, how does he get away with the copyright? Is it because he's a cover band?
he
Is
is
that what it's
because
under?
and that's what it is. Once you are an established cover band, you're pretty much guaranteed to do whatever it is that
It's gonna be
you can.
crazy when we see him at another WWE show. I don't know. Was he at Philly or was he at the other one after
I think
Philly?
he might have been the other one.
Because I think I was watching and someone said, yeah, Big Daddy Mark was there, and I'm like, was he at Philly? That would have been crazy.
Well, you know what's so crazy, right? Come January 20th, we'll fully get the answer. I think we'll probably learn a little bit sooner on what's the fate of TikTok.
Mm.
So, granted, this is the last show for the year until January, and we probably won't shoot again until closer to Royal Rumble, and then we'll start setting up for the Royal Rumble live reactions. But we'll see. If anything, we also have YouTube. We'll do a whole bunch of things, and I guarantee it's even if it's not in the works, somebody's thinking about it. There's another website or social media site that people will be like, "Oh, we'll just move here now." We'll go like that. It'll be Vine
Mhm.
Top or Top Vine, something like
Yeah.
that. But um,
I think what's really good about TikTok right now. It's that I know you get ads, but when you're trying to like look up a video on YouTube and like you click on it and you get that 30-second. Yeah, TikTok just finds a way. You can look up the same stuff and click on the video and you get no ad. And that's why it's so.
it is because it's not ad driven like
Yeah.
Instagram or YouTube or TikTok or even not sorry, or Twitter X or any of those guys or even Snapchat because we could like remember Snapchat. Click, 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 click until you see the picture or video. And now it's like you go click, 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 add, add,
Hmm.
click, add, and it's like,
Just because like I feel like back then, like say you randomly back then you would like search up like how to open my oil like canister for my engine for my car. Like you would go on Google, Google will show you a YouTube video. You would have to click on the link, and the link would take you to the video, but the video would have a 30-second ad. With TikTok now, you could literally just look it up
like
and you get it
instantly
right
do
there.
that, and it's right there.
And
You
I feel
have
like that's
dozens of
what's
people.
that's what's making people like you see like links a lot less on YouTube, just because people just go on TikTok and there's no wait.
Because you have so many people. Like I have a classmate of mine. A little bit. Shout out Sarah. Um, she's on TikTok, and that's where that's her platform. Like she does makeup and tanning and stuff like that. TikTok shop, which is another thing that YouTube and Instagram and Facebook have been doing, but haven't been doing that success with TikTok. And it's like, why are we really taking this away? Is it really because the Chinese government or whatever government that it's under or the person that owns it under is really a threat to our American society? No, it's about the money.
Hmm.
There's too much money in there that we can't
I
get
feel
to.
like TikTok just has a really good split with their creators right now, to where they're making more money, and TikTok's like, we're okay with the peanuts, just because they know that so many people are going to come and give them so many peanuts that their peanuts just
If I have 100 million people and they're all making say $100, and I take $25 each,
not even, maybe even 15.
maybe 15, right? Let's say 20. If I'm taking $20, 100 million people, it's still making enough. It's still making enough.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like
Yeah,
they're probably just really happy with the peanuts, where YouTube and other companies are like, oh, if you're making $100, I think we deserve 35 because
yeah.
we're giving you the servers, we're giving you all of that stuff.
Almost like OnlyFans, and this is where we're going to transition to this other
It's
thing,
crazy to not know
this
about this
beef,
part.
this beef that I have with certain creators, certain people that are complaining about women getting money. Like,
I thought you were going to talk about your OnlyFans
no, I
page.
don't have. No, we can't talk about that. I only sell feet. So listen, um, and it's not just OnlyFans girls, right? It's not just strippers. It's sexy red as well. Megan Thee Stallion, a bunch of other. I have this beef with people worrying about other fucking people's life and how they are contributing to the community, whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent. They should be, you know. Kansas Owen is a big component of traditional Christian values of this is how it should be, and this is how it was, so this is how it should be. So in terms of men and women working, wife should be at home, or she's working but she's not working as much. Men is working, doing other stuff. The stupid 50s and 40s. So men, some men that I have watched and stuff like that, and sometimes even almost admired to a certain extent because some of the conversations that they are talking about, like I can relate to that. Oh, I can see the point of view. Have now gone to the point of bashing Sexy Red, Megan, and other content creators with their sex drive and stuff like that. And this isn't about the sex bullshit. It's more or less you can't count another person's money on what the hell they're doing and what the consumer is consuming because you don't agree, right? Like if we didn't like wrestling, I don't have no right to bash wrestling because people are watching, people are paying for it, and people like it. The consumer right now likes the fact that Sexy Red, Megan, and a bunch of Cardi B, and you can go on and on, are saying, I don't need a man, or I can shake my ass or whatever and make money. And most women should try to strive to be like men. No, that's not the real message of what they're saying. They're saying that you as a woman or even as a person, you don't need X person to help you get to where the fuck you need to be at. And I think a lot of people are misconstruing what the fuck the message is instead of they're like, oh well, Sexy Red, or I'll say this, Sophie Ryan makes $40 fucking million showing her ass and titties, and I'm hating on that bitch because why the fuck am I making X amount of dollars doing hard work and she's barely doing shit. She ain't shit. People should stop idolizing. And it's not fair. I think stop counting people like if you don't like it, don't watch it. If you don't agree with the music and the choices that they agree with, you can say, hey, I don't fully agree with that, but go forth and make your money. That's it. Like it's not hard to do that. People nowadays are just so I'm not blaming. I don't want to go, but since this orange-haired bitch coming to the forefront,
I think
no, I wasn't gonna blame Malik either. Okay,
no
like,
close, but not
like, I'm not blaming Malik either. But since this orange-haired bitch have come to the forefront, there's been a lot of this for people that who care about anything. So, like, what do you think about people counting, especially women? How they're running their lives? Is it fair or not?
I mean, I don't care. I think you make your money the way you need to make it because you have to make money. Everyone needs to make money, just not everyone found the way to do it. I think more people are mad. Another example, right? Like Sophie Rain, like you were saying. I think more people are mad on how she made the money, like how fast, compared to like, oh, that's what she's doing for the money. And
Well,
no, it's like she's making it that
and this is
fast.
why I'll say you can't hate on her for making her money because you have a lot of sick people who are like, well, she looks like a little girl. I'll pay $4 million to see her shit, which is fucking stupid. I wouldn't do it, but that guy, he has $4 million to burn. But you wish you had $4 million to burn, not you, but that guy wishes he had. I would wish I had $4 million to burn. I wouldn't burn it on a woman besides my wife, but still, you know what I mean? That's how she's doing it. She's not having sex. She's a virgin. But a lot of people are like, "Fuck you! You're making $40 million. You're making more than some NBA basketball
But then, like, then it also comes down to like the other people, right? Is it their fault or is it her followers' fault?
players." It's not. It's no one's fault because at the end of the day, you watch what you
Well,
watch.
that's what I mean. Like, why aren't you're getting mad at the girl that's on OnlyFans? Why aren't you mad at the guy who's giving her the money for her OnlyFans?
Well, because you know what? It goes to the point of this, right? And this is why I really have to take issue because they feel like a traditional man, right? That takes care of his family, takes care of his wife, takes care of his kids, don't get praised.
Yeah.
Whereas Sophie Rain, Sexy Red, any of them, those other women that are getting money from those men and some women are getting more idolized when it's not that they're getting more idolized, they're getting more idolized because in this day and age, you're paying attention because there's more social media. And I say this is not the followers, it's what's the consumption. And I'll get into the real question at hand after we talk about that. If you are doing what you're supposed to do as a person, whether as man or woman, why should I praise you for doing what you were supposed to be doing anyway? Like you go to work, good job. I need to do what? What else do you want? You know what I
Okay.
mean? But I'm saying Like people were like, I went to work. I took care of my kids. I don't cheat on my wife. Good for you. You're supposed to not, supposed to do all this. But why is she shaking her ass and she gets idolized? She's not. She's just shaking her ass. And if you're paying attention, there's something wrong. And if you're not paying attention, there's something wrong. But you know what I mean? It's like if you cleaned your ass, you took a shower, there shouldn't be 50 million people applauding because you washed your ass. Because that's something that's wrong.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't get mad because the girl, whoever that does something that you might not agree with, should be hated.
No, I agree. I think you gotta get money the way you have to.
And this is where the
I feel like most people who also hate are the same people who like at the push of a button, like, hey, I'll give you 50 million right now. You gotta go out and run naked in a stadium, like just once, one lap, 50 million,
sure,
no tax.
no problem. Artists off.
Yeah. At first you'd be like, okay,
I'm just saying, like if you're getting, this is what I mean by people talk so much shit, but if you put
like
a price on
I
it,
don't
they
like
will
country
do it.
music, but if you came to me and you were like, hey, 50 million, you just gotta sit through 24 hours of country music,
Sure.
best believe become the biggest country fan that day.
Get Billy Ray and Willie Nelson all out. Listen to that shit all week. Fuck it, 50 million. And people, this is what I mean. People act so high and mighty, but you put a fucking price on it, I guarantee you would do the shit that they do. And if you could. So, but this is where the real question comes in. Do you think sex now is being oversaturated? Do you think people are just so, excuse me, like are over it now with the whole sex, with OnlyFans, girls shaking their ass, girls showing their titties, being sexualized? Do you think it's being oversaturated? Before you really answer, I'm going to go to the first fucking confession that most people don't even fucking realize. And it might not have been the very, very first. Guaranteed it was one of the top 5. Prostitution. Prostitution was the first fucking job that people was doing. Didn't have a problem then. Didn't have a problem now. Go ahead. Just wanted to put that out.
Do I think it's being over?
Yeah, saturated. Like you think are we getting flooded too much with over sexualization of men and even some, but mostly women.
I feel like it was always like this. It's just more. I don't even say it's more like public and open. I think it's just easier to look for.
Yeah.
I think back then, no matter what, like if you were a kid, no matter what, everyone was a kid, especially if you were a boy, you could find it if you wanted to. You just had to go through like, boom, boom, maybe look up that, maybe look up that. You'll find it eventually. Now it's just easier to find it.
Yeah.
But it's also, I think it's easier to find it now because it's money driven.
It is. And
There's a lot more money into it.
And I'll tell a quick story, and I think it's different for every boy. G.I. Joe, or, Power Rangers. Yeah, and then you just see something, and you're like, ooh, pretty. Hey, I like that.
Hmm. So I mean, I don't think it's over. I think it's just easier to find.
Yeah.
I think I think there's still probably the same amount of talk. It's just like it's harder to like not be open about it more now. I think it's like, especially the sounds. It's kind of like anime. Like back then, you were like, really? You watch that, and it's like, oh, you look for that stuff. And now it's much more easier to look for, and a lot more people are like, yeah, I watch anime.
Yeah.
And there's like a lot of people who like nowadays, like for example, you could be on Twitter, and most of the time, without being mean, most girls might have an OnlyFans like link in their bio.
9 times out of 10, if it's not,
And half the time, that's if you look at any comments really on X, it's really just like those are the comments. It would be like you'll see a guy going like, "I don't want to hear nothing from a girl with blood links in her bio," and like that's kind of the same thing. So I don't think it's over. I think it's just easier to look for.
And it's so bad. I feel bad because I am a Twitter guy. That's where I usually get most of my news from, stuff like that, whether it's from games or movies or something like that. And yes, you're absolutely right. Sometimes you could just scroll and scroll, and then you're like, wow, where did that come from? I was just looking at political stuff, and then you just see a big giant ass, and you're like, why is that
Or
independent?
like the fights,
Yeah, or fight.
like
Like
random fights. I
there's
mean, now it's so much easier to find
yeah.
fights on Twitter
Look,
or X.
just to get off the topic real quick, there's a guy on Twitter. His name is Steve Inman. He does commentary for like regular street fights or like regular brawls, not professional brawls or
Mm.
anything like that. But like you see a video of like two bums, like he'll commentate like his actual UFC. Like it's hilarious. Look him up. I'll have the link on it. Anything like that. But no, I think you're right. I think if you look at it from early on, there was magazines and pictures, right? Sometimes you can hide, so people won't judge. Whereas now, it's at the click of a button, literally on your finger. So I think a lot of people now, because people with their phones, laptops, and tablets, it's easier access.
Yeah, it's just easier access. I don't think it's like I said. That's why I don't think it's over. It's just easier to find, easier to access. Like you could even hack Siri probably at this point if with the new iPhones.
I'm
But like that's my point. Like it's just easier to look for. It's not as hard as it used to be. Like back then, it probably wasn't so much open because it was so much harder to get to, and then you didn't want to. Like you would look weird if you were telling people, "Yeah, I went through like 13 pages to look for one thing," and then everyone's like looking at you like that's fucking crazy. But like nowadays, it's like, yeah, this one link, and then that's when everyone's.
we're not going to get into that. If you know, you know. If you don't know, just keep it moving. Listen, I I just again, it's just weird that people. I think
I mean, would you give up the show if someone came to you and said 100 million? You just gotta shake your ass every 3 days.
damn right,
Okay, that's it.
$100 million, 3 days, sure. See the you want. I just, again, it goes back to the topic that we just talked about with this. People need to stop worrying about what they're not worrying about. You can't say, oh, at one point they're making too much money from doing this, and then also say in the same breath, oh, well, I can afford eggs and bacon and bread, right? Because obviously this person can, but you can't. So if you're worried about this person because you're worried that they can, that's my opinion on it. I know there's different opinions about it. I don't care. It's just my opinion. People look at it differently, and it is what it is. I just, and I'm with you on. I think that it is easier. I think people just need to stop. I go like to this, right? It's an algorithm in all your social media. If you look at something, right? Say, a perfect example is this year. If you're shopping for headphones or a phone, and we're under the same cloud, he'll know what I'm shopping for, even though he might not know that I'm necessarily shopping for it. Like his whole thing could probably be comics or something like that. But then after he gets on my cloud and he sees, oh, headphones, oh, phone, why? I'm not looking at that. Oh, I wonder who's looking. That's the algorithm. So like if you're looking at apps and it's popping up on your shit, that's because you looked for it. Whether you asked about it for educational purposes or not. If you're saying, hey, there's too much sex, well, you were looking for it. At one point or another, they don't just say, hey, here's sex right there for you. If you're saying Jesus, 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 that's what you're gonna get.
And then also like especially on like X, it depends on like what pages you go to. And
Yeah.
then if you get to their followers, well, you
Oh
know,
yeah.
like especially like for me, it's like the fighting pages. Like you'll look at one fight, you're like, oh, that's kind of crazy. So then you'll look at the page real quick, watch a couple more,
Yeah.
then you'll see a different fight, so you'll watch that one, and then you're like, all right, I don't want to see it
Go through the
anymore.
rabbit hole. It's the same thing like with TikTok
Yeah,
too. Like when you see like you go through a certain um content creator, like say if they have something interesting, you look for parts and you're going through it and you're like, oh wow, that's crazy, stuff like that. But I digress with the nonsense of it all. So before we get into some Christmas stuff, a little news, entertainment news that happened. I think one of our very first videos that we ever did we talked about
Mhm.
and you were wondering when the trailer will probably drop. We said around probably January or December will probably be the first teaser. The trailer did drop. They set up multiple trailer for the trailer, and it's technically not even really a trailer. It's a teaser. Well, it's a trailer, but it's like a teaser because you don't really know anything that's going on.
Yeah.
So the Superman trailer, James Gunn Superman trailer, just dropped. Um, and it's how can I say this without it's epic. It's really epic.
Yeah, a little bit saliva out there. Just be
I
fun.
know. It's real, but no, it's really epic because listen, I love
I can't agree with that yet,
well,
just because DC's been bad.
DC
And
has
I
been
get it.
bad.
You know, one good person can change it around,
Yeah,
but the problem still is, did they let you change it around like you wanted it to? Like maybe the trailer looks good, but like wait till we see it.
and I
That's
was
my
just gonna
biggest issue.
say the movie could be dog shit, and we don't know it. I trust James Gunn, but in terms of
No, no,
just
definitely. But
the trailer was epic. It gave you sense of wonder, and this is Superman. I still don't agree with the red shorts. It's my ass on the red people. But after further talking with people, I understood why the red shorts were so important because he wants to look friendly to kids.
yeah,
So why not look goofy? Well, I'll say instead of looking serious, which is one of the main reasons why Henry Cavill's Superman really didn't resonate with a lot of people. Like he was Superman, but it was just more like some too serious. I don't know. Well, not her.
I think he was a
Yeah.
good Superman. I think his Clark Kent didn't come out.
Listen, and this is what's so weird. If once you see when you watch the trailer, there's a clear difference on Clark Kent and Superman. Like you could tell, like oh maybe that could be his cousin, but when he's in his Clark Kent outfit, and this is what Christopher Reeves did so masterfully, he doesn't look like somebody that could save the world. He looks goofy. He looks like a nerd. He looks blah blah blah. But in this trailer, we get to see a whole bunch. We get to see,
That's what I mean. Yeah, like as
you know,
Superman, I think he looked. Henry looked good.
he did.
Superman. It's the
He did.
Clark Kent that didn't
Yeah,
know. To me, it's like when I tell like people like Andrew Garfield to me is the best Spider-Man
I agree.
because he's quirky. He speaks when he's fighting, but it's just Peter Parker wasn't.
This Peter Parker was spot on.
Yeah, but I feel like it wasn't like what people were expecting, and that's what
Traditional,
threw them
okay,
off.
traditional Peter Parker. We're going to get back to Superman real quick. Traditional Peter Parker was Toby. Traditional, like all stuff G was, and then quirky Spider-Man. But more modern Spider-Man Peter Parker is Toby. I mean Andrew,
And
because he fits that mold. We'll see what happens with
to
Tobey
me,
Maguire.
like I think what to me, I think what they did with the red shorts is to also show people like, hey, like this is definitely a much lighter, friendlier
And
Superman
you
than
can
what
see
we
that in
see.
the color palette and
Yeah,
throughout the whole trailer. And like
that's what I mean.
even
Like I trust James Gunn, but it's like, do I trust DC? Even though I know DC said no, you know what, we're not going to hold you back. Is it always like that in the background?
you got to see after the first movie. You know, DC whole thing is like we making money that baby, we could take over and do what we got to
That's
do.
what I mean, though.
But I agree with you on that one. But no, the score is fucking fantastic. The whole atmosphere of it feels like Superman. And again, it's just a teaser. I'm pretty sure we're probably going to get a full trailer. Super Bowl, probably still in February. We'll get a full trailer.
Would make sense.
It's coming out
The
July
biggest time.
11th, and then because in January they start filming for Supergirl um, with Miley Alcock. I'm probably butchering that name and all that. Guys, just be on the lookout. If you haven't watched the trailer, watch it. It's on there. It's a 2 minute and 20-second trailer. Technically, it's really only a minute and 17 with all the action and stuff like that. Um, but check it out. It's on YouTube and everything like that. So, like I said earlier, it's Christmas time. It's the end of the year, and speaking of that, I have something for Manny. Oh, I have this Christmas gift early.
Oh,
So
did not expect this.
just open it.
This better not be a gift card to Jerome. I already paid for a year subscription. Support the homies. That's what I always say. You don't gotta watch. Oh shit! It's a $50 gift card. Yeah, that's exactly what I needed too.
Listen,
Thank
you
you.
know what it is. It is what it is. The reason why I was because I told Manny before, when Manny got me a gift, I was like, look, I'm paying for a wedding. I don't have to pay now.
And that was okay. I
But
never.
now I got money because I don't have to pay for a wedding. He's in the bag, obviously. I don't have to worry about anything like that. So I had
It's
a
a
little
lot
bit of
family.
money.
Thank you.
But with Christmas is coming up, what is some of the best moments for Christmas that comes to your mind?
To me, um, well, my first like big thing for Christmas is Christmas Eve. It's not gonna be on Christmas Eve this year, unfortunately, because of the way day it works out. But during Christmas Eve, I usually plan like a big soccer game. Like me, my like close friends, and then my cousins, and then like we'll try to invite like a couple people here and there. Lately, it's been getting a bit too big, but never an issue. You know, this time we're gonna try to do it again. But pretty much, I rent out of like a soccer field, and we just play like 5v5, 6v6. You know, like just old school the kids having fun right before they go home to like that big party. And then Christmas Eve, my family, you know, it's when everyone comes together. We either do the gift exchange or white elephant. I think we did white elephant one year. I think they're gonna try to do it again this year, but my family doesn't know how it works. So
Listen, White Elephant have recently just getting to get more popular.
yeah,
I don't know why or anything like that. I've just been hearing about it myself.
but some of like the best feelings are definitely like when you give someone a gift you've been wanting to give them for a while. Like for me and my dad, like for me, it's when I gave my dad his PS5. Yeah, he never wanted one, and then like I got it to him, and he was like, it's cool, thanks. And then like to this day, he cleans it perfectly, charges the controllers, he plays it.
It was mine. He was like, thank you.
Yeah, like it's like it's cool, thank you. But I don't know. Another good part, even if you can't give a present, it's really about like just seeing the person, and be like, hey, Merry Christmas. Like Will said, like back then, you didn't have money for a gift, but I never like expected you to give me something. It was always like the cool, good hug. I'll see you tomorrow for football, and when we'll just be here watching football, talking about random bullshit. Um, I guess it's the time where you really come together, whether you can or not. It's really about like to me, Christmas is the biggest family holiday, and that's in my opinion when you can whoever you consider your friends to be family counts in that too. Is like where you who you send a message to is like what that means. What about you?
I mean,
I do have a question for you after this about Christmas.
look, everything that you said is pretty much minus soccer.
Mm.
I don't do. They were trying to get me out there to play. I'm retired from all.
We just want him to be part of the tradition.
They even try to get me to play referee. I don't want to do the red card. I feel like I'm gonna sprain my wrist throwing the red card. But
We got him yellow
everything that you
cards.
said, the sentiments exactly are family. It's not always about being gifts and stuff like that.
Sometimes being the one that gives the gift is better than
It
getting
is.
the gift.
And I've learned. What's so crazy? I learned that more being with Brittany because there are so many times where she has gotten me stuff and like her family has gotten me stuff, and I'm like, I don't have anything to give them. Don't worry about it. It's not like my family taught me like, yo, if you get something, you have to get something, but it wasn't more or less expressed. You know what I mean? So it was like if we had it, we had it, but it wasn't more or less like I would give, birthday gifts and anything. They're like, hey, here you go. And I'm like,
Yeah, I sometimes feel bad because I'm like, damn, I don't give them, but they'll give me
yeah,
something. But it does look like at the end of the day, like the way I see, like Ma and Pa, the way they'll look at it is like, yeah, we don't want nothing except for you to just be over here and like hang out.
yeah,
Like that's all they really. Like, and that's stuff for everyone. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like certain people, like I said, like you might not feel you feel bad because you can't give something back and someone gave you something, but sometimes you just gotta remember like they gave you something for a reason.
Yeah.
And it's not because they wanted you to go out and buy the latest iPad for them.
No.
It's just, hey, I got you this because I wanted to.
Yeah. And that was pretty much, and I think pretty much the main thing that for most people will probably also agree is just being with family. You know what I mean? That being with your family, the ones that don't annoy the fuck out of you, like, even those that
Especially
you
the ones
hate.
you do hate and
Yeah,
annoy
but
the
even the
fuck out
ones
of you.
that you do hate, like it's just that time. You just feel. That's why, like they always say, it's the greatest time of year. This is why I love. I don't care. Fuck y'all. I love the Mariah Carey. All I want for Christmas is you, because it feel
Well, you
it like
know,
once November first hit, you know, family is getting together.
mhm.
I might not see you after January 1st, but after that, but prior to that, it's like it's family from
Yeah,
November to December to January 1st. It's all nothing
it's
with me.
all family, and I
Yeah,
feel like, especially when the family you don't get to see in a long time, but if
yeah,
you get to see them on Christmas, so you just send them a message. It just shows like, hey, listen, we might not talk a lot, but just know Christmas we're a family. But after that,
yeah.
if you need me, I'm there for
Yeah.
you. Now, speaking of that though, let me hear the worst gift you ever gotten. I have one too. I won't admit.
Worst.
And the worst food item at the party
Um,
that you just
gingerbread.
there are, but they don't make them here.
I know. I
Okay.
can't stand the gingerbread. I don't know. I like looking at it. I like making fun of it. It's Shrek. I just can't stand the gingerbread. But the worst gift that I've ever received. Hmm, I don't believe I have one, but I do say I parasite from my when I was young. And it wasn't that I hated it, it was because I had to wear it. And it
Mm,
weren't because I had to wear them for school or anything. It was because I had to wear them that day. And I can't think of the fucking shoes per se. I think it was like either they were boots or something. And you know now, like when you get a new pair of sneakers, you gotta break them in. And back then, you really didn't care. But these in particular shoes, I got four of them, and those were my shit. And I was like, I fucking. And
mm.
at the time, we didn't have cars. We had to travel, train, bus. You know, you're gonna make me wear these goddamn shoes, and my feet are gonna hurt, and I don't want to wear them. I'd rather wear the shoes that I've already broken. So that's the only thing. Look, but there's never been a gift out really out of
I have one. Um, but to no one's fault, I guess. It was really just a hard gift to find. So as a kid, one of my favorite animes was called Saint Seiya. It's all about like the zodiac, but it's about gods and armies fighting each other. It's not like a simple like astrology anime. But pretty much in that, I wanted a figure, and when I wrote it down, it was Capricorn, right? But the way my mom read it and my dad read it, they read coin counter. So you know those little machines at, like if you go to like the buffet or like a restaurant, it's like you throw coins in and it like spits them out and tries to like push the presents like closer and closer.
that.
That's what they got me, like a small miniature one. I hated that as a kid. And it disappointed me so much. And I think I was still like, Santa's bringing this, so like when Santa didn't bring me, I was, I was so upset. And then for me, the worst food that we ever have at my parties, um, what I don't know how to, like it's pig feet, right?
Uh-huh.
But in like habanero,
That
all of
is
that stuff. Hate it. I got tricked once into eating a taco of it. Hated it. Habanero was not a fan of it. That day.
Sorry.
That's my
That
worst food.
first of all,
Or anything coconut related. I don't like coconut.
listen, I don't
Yeah.
drink.
My dad loves coconut, like almond joys and stuff like that.
You
Loves
know,
them. I hate.
and then, you know what? Maybe when we get older, we'll love in terms of like almond joy and like cakes and stuff. Other than that, if it's not in a drink, I don't know. It's so crazy, right? End of the year, and guys, it's been a pleasure for this first year with us. Um,
We're only gonna get better.
we're only going to get better, trust me. I'm working on something to um, up the studio level. I'm working on something with that. Like I said, Malik will be back with us, as well as Luchador, Lalo, Ryan. I'm still trying to get some other people on as well.
No, I was trying to think of something because I was like, you know how we were saying we can only get better.
Yeah.
I was watching a movie and it was Sing. I love that movie,
Oh yeah.
and it's like what Moon said.
Oh,
You know, once you're at the bottom, the only way is left is up. So we're only gonna get
we're
better.
only gonna get better, and we appreciate all of y'all,
All four of you,
all of it, every single one of
and
you,
we're two of the ones here.
right? So, with that being said, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa,
Enjoy
any
family.
enjoy family,
If you
love,
can't
all
give,
that. Merry New Year, you know what I mean? And we'll see y'all again in 2025. We got some things going on that I think you'll like, and hopefully we'll still. And if you don't, if you hopefully TikTok is still there, you'll find us on TikTok. But if not, we'll have YouTube, and we'll start.
and Spotify.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh wait,
I'm always on Spotify.
I'm on Apple Music. I'm sorry. I like Apple Music.
Speak, bro.
Whatever. But Merry Christmas, guys. We'll see you. Love y'all. Peace. Love.
On the heart.